23 to 9. Well, the opposition is saying a police operation to remove protesters at Bentley ahead of a gas drilling operation by Metgasco would represent a gross waste of taxpayers' money. The Shadow Minister for Police, Michael Daly, said if suggestions that up to 800 police could be deployed are correct, that would be an overreaction. Our reporter, Bruce McKenzie, spoke with Michael Daly.
We asked both the new Premier and the Police Minister to confirm that they were planning to divert 800 police from all across the state to Bentley to break up a lawful protest. They refused to confirm it. They didn't want to know anything about it. There's a complete lack of leadership in the Parliament today, not only by the new Premier, Mike Baird, but his rookie novice Minister, Stuart Ayres.
That figure seems extraordinary, I must say.
Well, I've been the police minister, and I know that the first thing I'd be doing in this instance is going to talk to the commissioner and the senior police to say, hang on a minute, what's going on here? There's got to be a better way to do this. After question time in Parliament, I took the time to go and meet some of these protesters. They weren't radicals. They were elderly people, seniors, well-respected seniors from the Bentley area, farmers. They're not the sort of people you'd be sending the riot squad in to crack heads on. But the Premier and the new Police Minister refused to rule out sending 800 police from all over the state. Apart from being extraordinarily heavy-handed, the cost for this sort of logistical nightmare must be enormous. I can think of many better ways the new Premier, Mike Baird, can spend taxpayers' money on than doing something like this.
You're also saying that this is maybe the first real test for the new Police Minister as to where his priorities might lie.
Well, the new Police Minister has a few tests. Firstly, he's got to stand up to Mike Baird's budget cuts on the police and keep police numbers high. It's a big failure of the Farrell government, and it's a failure of the Baird government. But in a situation like this, we've got a new minister. He needs to take control of the portfolio now. So it might have been okay for the former failed minister, Mike Gallagher, to have given the police a green light to go ahead with this sort of giant breakup of a protest. But the new minister is in control now. He should sit down with the senior police and just take stock of what's going to happen in Bentley. There must be a better way. The government, Mike Baird, if Mike Baird himself won't go to Bentley to talk to the farmers and families up there that are protesting, he should send someone senior up there to listen to them, to hear what their concerns are, instead of leaving communities all over New South Wales depleted in police to send to Bentley to crack heads in a few weeks' time.
The Shadow Police Minister, Michael Daly, and the Police Minister, Stuart Ayres, was not available this morning for an interview. However, the Managing Director of Metgasco, Peter Henderson, is with me. Good morning.
Good morning, Jo.
You heard Michael Daly. He described it as foolish and a gross waste of taxpayers' money if the sorts of numbers that are being bandied about in terms of police coming to the region to help Metgasco conduct its operations are correct. What's your reaction?
I think he's got a few things fundamentally wrong. Firstly, from Metgasco's point of view, our job is to produce gas. That's the reason we exist. All we ask is that the law is upheld and our lawful rights and those of the farmers are upheld. We don't tell the police how to do their job in terms of how they ensure our access to the site or how many people they need. But the police are not being asked to break a protest. Protesting is lawful. The police are being asked to ensure the law is enforced, and the law is not being enforced. We have a situation where the farmers' rights have been violated now for many months. You know as well as I do that his gates have been padlocked 5 times, welded twice. He's had railway lines concreted into his entrance property. We've now got a tripod structure there and other devices in the front of his property. And there are people not camped in the Scarabalotti's land, but camping and erecting structures on his private land. That is all breaking the law. Similarly, from our point of view, we have the right to drill the well. We've had exploration licenses approved by both sides of government for many, many years now. We've operated safely and responsibly in the area for 10 years. Right, we've got all the approvals, environmental approvals for the well we're drilling. We have the lawful right to drill the well, and that's all we ask.
Do you expect that it's going to take that sort of number of police to clear the protesters from what you've seen?
Look, that's not my call, Joe. The police have worked this very thoroughly, to my knowledge. They've been up there, they've looked at the amount of structures and dangerous things they need to remove from the site. They've made their assessment of the type of people who are barricading there and how they're likely to behave. That's their job. I'm not telling them how to do their job. But I think there's a lot of misinformation about that too. Again, there are certainly some local farmers who are concerned about the gas industry, and there are a lot of people from the northern rivers who are concerned. Those people can protest, that's fine, that's lawful, we respect that. But there are also people in that group who are beyond anyone's control, and there's no way of knowing how they will behave, and that's the assessment the police have to go through. They need to look at, which they've done, and decide what level of resources they need to allow us our lawful right to the property and to protect the farmer whose rights have not been respected now for many months.
Will you be taking your case for police resources to the police minister, the new police minister, to I suppose stress the point that this is an activity that is lawful and you need help?
Oh, we've already done that, and any company now formed would do so. Any farmer in the situation that Graham has been in for now 4 or 5 months would do that. People expect the law to be observed.
So you've spoken to Stuart Ayres?
No, I haven't spoken to Stuart Ayres, but I've written to members of Parliament and the Premier explaining our case and the fact that we've got a lawful activity, that gas is important, and the law should be respected, and that's all we're asking.
Some people have said that Metgasco should provide security guards if it needs to access the Graham's property to start drilling. Is that reasonable?
We will have security guards, but we shouldn't need to do so. But security guards don't have the right to arrest people who are breaking the law, who are intimidating people, who are restricting right. That's the responsibility of the police, not security guards.
Thank you very much for your time this morning.
A pleasure. Bye.
Peter Henderson there, the Managing Director of Metgasco on ABC North Coast.
From the sidelines of your local